Dear students, in today's class, I am going to solve one more problem on the royalty accounts. Problem is already written on the board. Just we'll go through the problem. After that, we can prepare the necessary accounts. Just let us see what is given in the problem. Bharat Publishers took the publication of accountancy book. Here publishers are there, Bharat Publications. It has taken up the responsibility of printing and selling accountancy book written by the author at a royalty of 20% payable to the author. Here, Bharat Publications has agreed to pay 20% of the selling price of the book as a royalty to the author. Very simple thing is that. If rupees 100 is the selling price and rupees 20 will be given to the author as a consideration. That is the royalty. What type of royalty is this? This is the copyright royalty, with a minimum rent of rupees 5,000. Here in the agreement, it is also clearly stated that in case if the actual royalty is less than the minimum rent, in that case, author is to be given rupees 5,000. That is the minimum rent in that particular year. Right of recoupment of short workings out of excess royalties of the next 2 years was allowed to the publishers. Here in the agreement, it is clearly mentioned that the right of recoupment is given to the publishers for recovering the short workings of the earlier years. But here that period is specifically mentioned in the agreement. What is that? Excess royalties of the next 2 years. Next 2 years of what? Next 2 years of such short working. In case in the first year, if the short working is there, that can be recovered in the second and third year. It means next 2 years time is there to recover these short workings. Assume that in the second year short working is there, then that such short workings can be recovered out of the excess royalties earned by the publisher in the third year and fourth year. That is why here short workings can be recovered in the next 2 years of such short workings. That you have to remember. The number of books sold during the year 91, 92, 93, 94 are given here. In the first year, 800 copies were sold. In the second year, 1000 copies. In the third year, 1600 copies. And in the fourth year, 2000 copies were sold by the publishers. The selling price of the book was rupees 20 per copy for all the years. Rupees 20 is the selling price here. If rupees 20 is the selling price, rupees 20 is the selling price per copy, then what is the royalty per copy here? 20% of the selling price. 20 is the price of the book, and 20% of this rupees 20 is nothing but the royalty per book. 20% of 20 comes to rupees how much? Rupees 4. Therefore, rupees 4 per copy of book sold is to be taken as the royalty here. Very simple thing is that 20% of the selling price you have to calculate, you get rupees 4. Or you can also apply 20% of the total amount collected by the publisher in that particular year. That can also be done. Okay, fine. Here you are asked to prepare royalty account, short workings account and author's account. Okay, before going to proceed, the next what you call part of this problem, first we have to prepare table showing calculation of royalty payable. Problem is very simple. Try to understand here. Table showing the calculation of the royalty payable to the author. You have already learned how to prepare royalty chart in the previous class. Just to go through the previous videos so that you can easily understand the concept. Here first column is the year 1991, I put 1992, 1993 and 1994. 4 years data is given here. What is the next column? Next column is the number of copies sold. Number of copies sold. How many copies were sold in the first year? 800 copies. In the second year, 1000 copies. In the third year, 1600 copies. And in the fourth year, 2000 copies were sold. Next important column is actual royalty. Actual royalty. Actual royalty. That you have to calculate. Here, what is the actual royalty? Here, actual royalty is rupees 4 per copy of book sold. Just now I told you that rupees 20 is the price of the book and 20% of this one is to be taken as royalty. That is why rupees 4 it comes. Rupees 4 in the sense we have to multiply this 800 with 4. It comes to rupees how much? 3200. In the second year, 1000 into 4, 4000. Next one is 1600 books were sold in the third year. Therefore, into 4 means it comes to 6400. Next one is rupees 8000 in the fourth year. Very simple thing is there. Try to understand. 800 books were sold in the first year. Therefore, 800 into 4 it comes to rupees 3200. And next one is 1000 books were sold in the second year. That is why 1000 into rupees 4, that is the royalty which is to be given to the author. It comes to rupees 4000. And in the similar way, in the third year it comes to 6400 and in the fourth year it comes to rupees 8000. Then after this we have to write the minimum rent which was agreed. Minimum rent in this problem, rupees 5000 is given. 5000, 5000, 5000 and 5000. Same amount is to be written for all the years. After that, we have to calculate short workings. Short workings. First column is deficit. Next one is recovered. Next one is irrecovered. Irrecovered. Amount payable to the author. Amount payable. Last column. Okay. Just you see here, actual royalty in the first year comes to rupees 3200. But minimum rent is rupees 5000. It means what? Here minimum rent is more than the actual royalty. Here author will accept rupees how much? Rupees 5000, not less than that. That is why amount payable to the author is how much in the first year? Rupees 5000. That is why here deficit is there to the extent of rupees how much? See, actual royalty is 3200 and 1800 is the deficit. Now 3200 plus short working, see 1800. Then total amount comes to rupees how much? 5000. This 5000 is given to the author as royalty in the first year. Next one is in the second year, actual royalty is rupees 4000. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗಿ ನೀವು, ಇನ್ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಮೊದಲನೇ ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ 3200 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಏನಿದೆ ಆಕ್ಚುಯಲ್ ರಾಯಲ್ಟಿ ಇದೆ. ಆ ಆಕ್ಚುಯಲ್ ರಾಯಲ್ಟಿಯನ್ನ ನಾವು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ? ಅದ್ರ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ರೀ? 20% ಇದೆ. ಅದು ಅದರದ್ದು ಮಾರಾಟ ಬೆಲೆ. ಮಾರಾಟ ಬೆಲೆ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆಯೋ ಒಂದು ಪುಸ್ತಕದ್ದು ಆ ಬೆಲೆಯ 20% ಏನಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, 20% ರಾಯಲ್ಟಿ ಆಗಿ ನಾವು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ಆ ಲೇಖಕನಿಗೆ ಕೊಡಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. ಯಾರು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ? ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾರತ್ ಪಬ್ಲಿಷರ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಪ್ರತಿ ಪುಸ್ತಕಕ್ಕೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ರಾಯಲ್ಟಿ? 20% ಆಫ್ rupees 20 ಅಂದ್ರೆ 4 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಎಷ್ಟು ಪುಸ್ತಕಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾರಾಟ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಆ ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು? 4ಲಿಂದ ಗುಣಾಕಾರ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಆ ದುಡ್ಡು ನಮಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಎಷ್ಟು ಆಕ್ಚುಯಲ್ ರಾಯಲ್ಟಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಹಚ್ಚಿದೀವಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಮೊದಲನೇ ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಕ್ಚುಯಲ್ ರಾಯಲ್ಟಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ? 3200. ಒಪ್ಪಂದದ ಪ್ರಕಾರ 3200 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಒಪ್ಪಂದದಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಏನಿದೆ? ಒಂದು ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಇದೆ, ಒಂದು ಷರತ್ತಿದೆ. ಏನಂತ? ಆಕ್ಚುಯಲ್ ರಾಯಲ್ಟಿ ಒಂದು ವೇಳೆ 5,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿಗಿಂತ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆದ್ರೆ 5,000 ದಟ್ ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ ರೆಂಟ್ ನಮಗೆ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಯಾರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಥರ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಪಬ್ಲಿಷರ್ಗೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 3,200 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಏನಿದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಕ್ಚುಯಲ್ ರಾಯಲ್ಟಿ ಇದೆ, ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ ರೆಂಟ್ 5,000 ಇದೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಥರ್ಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು? ನಾವು 5,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು, 5,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಕೊಡಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ? 1,800 ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 1,800 ಅನ್ನ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ಡೆಫಿಸಿಟ್ ಕಾಲಮ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀತಕ್ಕದ್ದು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಎರಡನೇ ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ 1,000 ಕಾಪೀಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಮಾರಾಟ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇನ್ ದ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಇಯರ್ 1,000 ಕಾಪೀಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಬುಕ್ಸ್ ವೇರ್ ಸೋಲ್ಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದ ಆಕ್ಚುಯಲ್ ರಾಯಲ್ಟಿ comes to rupees 4,000. When we calculate at the rate of rupees 4 per copy sold, then it comes to rupees 4,000. Here also actual royalty is less than minimum rent. Deficit comes to rupees how much? Deficit comes to rupees 1,000. Again in the second year amount payable to the author is rupees 5,000. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಥರ್ಗೆ ಲೇಖಕನಿಗೆ 5,000 ಎರಡನೇ ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿಯೂ ಕೊಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆಕ್ಚುಯಲ್ ರಾಯಲ್ಟಿ 4,000 ಇದೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಡೆಫಿಸಿಟ್ 1,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಇದೆ. ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್? ಹಿಯರ್ ದ ಪಬ್ಲಿಷರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಪುಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದೇರ್ ಪಾಕೆಟ್. ಸಿ, ಇನ್ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ದೇ paid rupees 5,000 to the author, but actual royalty was how much? 3,200. That is why here rupees 1,800 is written in the deficit column. In the second year also 1,000 deficit is there. Again 5,000 is given to the author. Come to the third year. But here you should be very careful. Just try to understand here. In the first year, shard working is there. Okay, 1,800. If publishers want to recover this amount, they have the next 2 years time to recover the shard workings. Shard workings of the first year can be recovered out of the excess royalties of the next 2 years. It means the shard workings of the year 1991 can be recovered only out of the excess royalties of the year 1992 and 1993. It means the year 1993 was the last year to recover the short workings that of the first year. That is why just you see, this is the last year to recover the short workings of the year 1991. ಈ ವರ್ಷದ್ದು ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನ ರಿಕವರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋ ಸಲುವಾಗಿ ಇದು ಕೊನೆಯ ವರ್ಷ. ಯಾಕಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ಲಿ ಗಿವನ್ that the next 2 years time is given. Next 2 years in the sense, in the first year if the short working is there, that can be recovered out of the excess royalties of the next 2 years. You have to leave that one, excluding the first year. Next 2 years you have to take 1992 and 1993. That is why 1993 is the last year to recover the short workings of the year 1991. Okay, let us see. In the year 1993, the actual royalty was rupees how much? 6,400. See how much royalty is there in the year 1993? Rupees 6,400 is there. It is more than the minimum rent. It is more than the minimum rent. Whenever actual royalty is more than the minimum rent, whatever difference we get, that is called as excess royalty. Short workings can be recovered only out of the excess royalties. That is why here how much excess royalty is there? See, 6,400 is the actual royalty. Next one is 5,000 is the minimum rent. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ರೀ? ಮೂರನೇ ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ 6,400 ಆಕ್ಚುಯಲ್ ರಾಯಲ್ಟಿ ಇದೆ. ಇಷ್ಟು ದುಡ್ಡನ್ನ ನಾವು ಆಥರ್ಗೆ ಕೊಡಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಆದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನ ರಿಕವರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಟೈಮ್ ಇದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ರಾಯಲ್ಟಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಎಂಬುದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಯು ಸಿ ಆಕ್ಚುಯಲ್ ರಾಯಲ್ಟಿ 6,400 and minimum rent is 5,000. Therefore 1,400 is to be taken as the excess royalty. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? ಎಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ರಾಯಲ್ಟಿ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಆ ಎಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ರಾಯಲ್ಟಿ 1,400 ಅನ್ನ ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ರಿಕವರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬಹುದು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಡೆಫಿಸಿಟ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ? ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ 1,800 ಇದೆ. ಆ 1,800 ನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು 1,400 ಮಾತ್ರ ರಿಕವರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬಹುದು. ಯಾಕಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಈ 1,800 ಅನ್ನ ರಿಕವರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋ ಸಲುವಾಗಿ ನಮಗೆ ಕೇವಲ ಮುಂದಿನ 2 ವರ್ಷಗಳ ಸಮಯ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇದೆ. We have got only 2 years to recover the short workings of the first year. That is why here this is the last year to recover the short workings. Hence what I am going to do here, I am going to write 1,400 in the recovery column, because excess royalty I am putting here. We are recovering this one, publishers are recovering, and out of 1800 only 1400 was recovered and 400 is to be shown as irrecovered amount. Okay, in the third year, the actual amount recovered was how much? 1400, and whatever irrecovered amount is there, out of 1800 we recovered 1400 and 400 is irrecovered because this is the last year to recover the short workings of the first year. Because of that reason, we have to show rupees 400 in the irrecovery column, and amount payable to the author is rupees how much? 5000. Come to the last year, in the year 1994, again excess royalty is there. See, actual royalty is rupees 8000 and minimum rent is rupees 5000. Therefore, excess royalty is there to the extent of rupees 3000. Now, this excess royalty can be applied for the recovery of short workings of the earlier year. Now, you see, in the year 1992, there was a short working of rupees 1000. This can be recovered out of the excess royalties of the next 2 years, excluding that year. When we go to the next 2 years, 1994 is the last year to recover the short workings of the year 1992. That is why here excess royalty is there to the extent of rupees 3000. Sufficient amount is there for us to recover the amount. That is why the amount recovered, we have to write rupees 1000. Out of rupees 8000 actual royalty, see, 1000 is recovered and the remaining balance of rupees 7000 is to be given to the author as royalty, because here actual royalty is more than the minimum rent. That is why whatever the short working is there to be recovered, that we have to recover, and the remaining balance has to be paid to the author as royalty. That is why out of 8000, 1000 is recovered and the remaining amount of rupees 7000 is given to the author. Okay, now this is the table which shows us the details of the actual royalty, short workings, and the amount payable to the author. Now, with the help of this table, we can prepare royalty account, author's account, and short workings account. Okay, let us prepare first royalty account. Royalty account we prepare. Very simple is there. Try to understand. Royalty account. First column year, next particulars, amount in rupees. Next year also you write year, particulars, and amount in rupees. Next one is we prepare short workings account. Short workings account. Debit, credit. You write year, particulars, amount in rupees. Year, particulars, amount in rupees. Then after that, we can prepare author's account also. Here I put author's account. Author's account. Once you remember the journal entries, easily you can prepare these accounts. Year, particulars, amount in rupees. Year, particulars, amount in rupees. Okay, come to the first year. In the first year, short working is there, rupees 1800. I told you that in case of short workings, when the royalty is payable to the author, what journal entry do we pass? Royalty account is to be debited, short workings account is also debited, and landlords or author's account is to be credited. In case of mining royalty, we have to take the landlord, but here copyright royalty is given. Instead of landlord, we have to take here author. That difference only. Royalty account we have to debit. See year 1991, royalty account is to be debited and author's account is to be credited. To author's account. What is the amount of royalty? Here actual royalty is to be taken 3,200. 3,200. Royalty account is debited. Next one is same year 1991. Short workings account is also debited. Here we have to write opposite accounts name. I am posting the entry to author's account. What is the amount of short working? 1,800. Royalty account is debited. Short workings account is also debited. Now author's account is to be credited. Write the year 1991 by royalty account. By royalty account. What is the amount? 3,200. Next one is by short workings account. Short workings account rupees 1,800. See, first journal entry is posted. Now second journal entry. When the payment is made to the author, what journal entry is to be passed? Author's account is debited and cash account is to be credited. That is why author's account on the debit side, we write to cash account. When the payment is made to the author, how much amount? Rupees 5,000. Last column you see, rupees 5,000. Now we can close this account. Here you write rupees 5,000. Here also rupees 5,000. Over. Author's account is closed. Next one is royalty account. How to close royalty account? At the end of every year, whatever the balance is there in the royalty account, that has to be charged to the profit and loss account. Therefore, here it is an item of expense, hence shown in the profit and loss account. It is a charge to the profit and loss account, therefore it is debited. For that, what journal entry do you pass? Profit and loss account is to be debited and royalty account is to be credited. That is why here at the end of the year 1991, what do? We transfer it to profit and loss account. Very simple thing, 3,200. To the publishers, this royalty amount is an expense. Therefore, it is to be shown in the profit and loss account. Now, this account is closed. You write 3,200 and 3,200. Now, in case of short workings, how to close this account? Here, this amount of rupees 1,800 may be recovered out of the excess royalties in the ensuing years, in the coming years. Because of that reason, this one we have to take as the balance. At the end of the year, we write this one as by balance carried on 1,800. Close the account. 1,800, 1,800. And this balance will become the opening balance for the next year. In the year 1992, two balance brought down, rupees how much? 1,800. Why do we show this one as the opening balance? Because still time is there to recover these short workings. In case if the time is not there, what do? We transfer it to profit and loss account, treating that one as a loss to the publisher. Okay. In the first year, all the journal entries are posted and royalty account, short workings account and author's accounts are closed. Next, come to the second year. In the second year, again, first we have to check whether short working is there or not. If short working is there, again same journal entry we have to pass. Only amount will change here. Royalty account is debited, short workings account is debited and author's account is to be credited. That is why what I am going to do here, 1992, again I write here to author's account. opposite accounts name, author's account. What is the actual royalty in the second year? Rupees 4,000. That I am going to write rupees 4,000. Next, short workings account is also debited to author's account. To author's account. What is the short working? Rupees 1,000. The same is to be posted in author's account. Here we write by royalty account. Rupees how much? Rupees 4,000. Next one is by short workings account. By short workings account. Rupees 1,000. First journal entry is posted. Next journal entry is for the payment made to author. What is the journal entry? Author's account is debited and cash account is to be credited. That is why here 1992 we have to write on the debit side of author's account. Author's account is debited and cash account is to be credited. To cash account rupees 5,000. Just you see the last column 5,000 amount paid to the author, 5,000 and 5,000. This account gets closed. Next one is here at the end of the year 1992, this royalty amount of rupees 4,000 transferred to profit and loss account. Therefore, 1992 write by profit and loss account. Every year we have to transfer this amount to the profit and loss account. 4,000, 4,000. Second year is also completed here. But in case of short workings, the total short workings comes to rupees 2,800. This one we have to show as closing balance of the year 1992 by balance carried on. What is the amount? 2,800. Because still time is there to recover the short workings. Because of that reason, what we are doing, we are closing this account in this style, 2,800. Now this closing balance will become the opening balance for the next year. Next year, 1993, this one is to be taken as opening balance. To balance brought down rupees 2,800. Now, the entries of the second year are posted to the ledger accounts. Next one is the third year. You see, in the third year, actual royalty is more than the minimum rent. That is why here recovery is there, rupees 1,400. Now what is to be done? We have to pass one journal entry for the royalty payable. What journal entry is to be passed here? Royalty account is debited. Short workings account is not there because there is no short working as such. That is why only royalty account is to be debited and author's account is credited. That is why here what I am going to do, I am going to post it to royalty account. Royalty account is debited and author's account is to be credited with the amount of actual royalty. How much? Rupees 6,400 we have to show here. 6,400 is to be shown. Next one is in author's account. In the year 1993, by royalty account, because only royalty is there is no short working. Therefore, by royalty account, amount comes to rupees how much? 6,400. Now, at the end of the year, this royalty is transferred to profit and loss account. We'll close this one, 1993. By profit and loss account, rupees 6,400. Account gets closed. 6,400 and 6,400. Next one is for the payment of cash to the author. Just you see, author's account is credited with the amount of rupees 6,400, but cash is given to the author only rupees how much? 5,000. It means here rupees 1,400 is the amount which is recovered from the excess royalty. That is why here first what we have to do, we have to recover the short workings. See, whenever a short working is recovered, what we have to do? We have to debit it to the author's account to short workings to short workings account. How much amount was recovered? 1400. Author's account is debited. Short workings account is to be taken here to short workings account, and remaining balance to cash account. Rupees how much? Rupees 5000. Now this account is closed. 6400 and rupees 6400. 6400. With regard to short workings account, you see the total amount of short working was rupees 2800. In the third year, rupees 1400 was recovered. From whom? From the author. That is the meaning. Here in the year 1993, what we have to write? By author's account. By author's account. How much amount was recovered? 1400. 1400. Now you see, in the year 1991, short working was there, rupees 1800. But 1400 was recovered and 400 was transferred to profit and loss account. That was treated as a loss to the publisher because there is no time for recovering that amount. That is why here out of 2800, here total short working is 2800. In this 1800 is pertaining to the first year. That is why in the first year's short working, out of the first year's short working, 1400 was recovered and 400 was transferred to profit and loss account. By profit and loss account, how much amount was transferred to profit and loss account? It was treated as loss because here 400 was the amount which was irrecovered in the year 1993. That is why here 400 is transferred to profit and loss account. Now, what is the balancing figure? That we have to write here. By balance carried on, 1800 means now remaining balance is rupees 1000 only. Now close the account. 2800 and here you write 2800. And this balance of rupees 1000 is to be taken as the opening balance in the year 1994, rupees 1000. This is the way how we have to close the short workings account. Try to understand this one. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇದನ್ನ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಪಡ್ರಿ. ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿತ್ರಿ 1993 ನಲ್ಲಿ 2800 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಇತ್ತು. 2800 ರೂಪಾಯಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ 1400 ರೂಪಾಯಿಯನ್ನ ಮಾತ್ರ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾನೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ರಿಕವರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಪಬ್ಲಿಷರ್. ಆದ್ರೆ 400 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾನೆ ಇರಿಕವರ್ಡ್ ಅಂತ ತೋರಿಸಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಇರಿಕವರ್ಡ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಆ ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣ ದುಡ್ಡನ್ನ ರಿಕವರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಪಬ್ಲಿಷರ್ಗೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಎಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ರಾಯಲ್ಟಿ ಕೇವಲ 1400 ಮಾತ್ರ ಇತ್ತು. ಆ 1400 ರಿಕವರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಆ 400 ಇರಿಕವರ್ಡ್ ಅಂತ ತೋರಿಸಿದಾನೆ. ಆ ಪಬ್ಲಿಷರ್ ಏನ್ 400 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ರಿಕವರ್ಡ್ ಅಂತ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾನೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಏನಂತ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಇದನ್ನ ಲಾಸ್ ಅಂತ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಖಾತೆಗೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಈ ಜರ್ನಲ್ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಏನ್ ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಇಲ್ಲಿ, ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಡೆಬಿಟೆಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟೆಡ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ rupees 400 ಅಂಡ್ ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ದ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದೇರ್ rupees 1000 ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಏನಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೊಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಯಾಕೆ ತಗೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಿದೆ ನಮಗೆ ಅದು ರಿಕವರಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋ ಸಲುವಾಗಿ ಸಫಿಶಿಯಂಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ನಮಗೆ ಇದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ನಾವ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದ್ರಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 1000 rupees ಏನಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಇದನ್ನ ರಿಕವರಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ಟೈಮ್ ಇದ್ದದ್ರಿಂದ ಟು ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಬ್ರಾಟ್ ಡೌನ್ ಅಂತ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಲಾಗಿದೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಈಸ್ come to the last year 1994. Here again what is the journal entry? Here short working is not there. Royalty account is to be debited and author's account is to be credited. That is why here 1994 I take two authors account. What is the amount? Rupees 8000 is the actual royalty. Now I am going to close it here. When we transfer this amount to the profit and loss account, journal entry is profit and loss account is debited and the royalty account is credited. Rupees how much? Rupees 8000. Now royalty account gets closed. 8000. Next one is same entry we have to post in author's account. 1994 we put by royalty account. What is the amount? Here amount is rupees 8000. I am going to write rupees 8,000. First journal entry is over. Next one is, see, before making the payment to the landlord, to the author, rupees 1,000 is recovered here. 1,000 ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಥರ್ ಲಿಂತ್ರ ಮತ್ತೆ ರಿಕವರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ 8,000 ರಾಯಲ್ಟಿಯನ್ನ ಪಡೆದೆ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇವಲ 7,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿಯನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಮತ್ತೆ 1,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿಯನ್ನ ರಿಕವರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೈ ಹಿಯರ್ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಡೂ, we have to pass one journal entry 1994. What is the journal entry? Before making the payment to the author, journal entry is author's account is debited and short workings account is credited. Short workings account, how much amount of short working was recovered? 1,000. Next one is remaining balance paid to landlord to cash account, rupees how much? Rupees 7,000. Now here account gets closed, 8,000 and rupees 8,000. Rupees 8,000. Next one is, you see, short working account is there. 1994, this amount was recovered from the author. Therefore, by author's account, rupees 1,000. Now you close the account. Now there is no balancing figure in short workings account. 1,000 and rupees 1,000. This is the way how we have to prepare different accounts in royalty chapter. See, in this problem, what they have asked? They have asked you to prepare royalty account, short workings account and author's account. Dear students, try to understand here. First, you have to learn how to prepare the royalty chart. Once you are perfect in that, easily you can prepare this type of accounts. Okay, I hope you understood the concept. Then try to practice, because practice is very important in accounting. I hope you understood this problem, and better share this video even to your friends and those who are studying in BCom classes, so that they can also get the benefit of this. Okay, bye. Thank you.